If you're struggling with your habits, I'm going to give you 3 steps to help get you back on track, guaranteed. So, I've been a therapist for about 5 years now, and I've read hundreds of books. But one book that I tend to quote the most in my therapy sessions is actually this one. So, Atomic Habits by James Clear. And the reason why is because at the end of the day, clients are coming to me because there's something that they want to do, but they're having a tough time doing it on a consistent basis. This may even be something internally, like being able to love themselves, treat themselves, or even take care of themselves with self-care on a more consistent basis. And as we know, habits are everything. Habits are the thing that creates the freedom and the things in life that you want. But also a lack of habits can also create the abysmal life, the turmoil that maybe you're going through right now. So habits are very important. That's why books like this and many other books tend to be on the top list of a lot of people that are on Amazon just shopping, looking for, the next best self-help book, if you will. So what I want to do in this podcast and give you guys 3 simple steps. I mean, some of the most simplest things you can do to help you get back on track if you have fallen off on your habits. So if you're someone that's trying to get back into the gym after taking a long hiatus, I got you. If you're someone that's typically reading books, but have taken a few months off from reading that same book that you've been saying you're going to finish, I got you. If you're someone that's been saying, hey, I want to do more social media content, but have been struggling, again, I got you. So no matter what you're going through, your boy, Coach Wells, is going to get you through it. All you got to do is just follow this podcast to the end, because the third and final tip is the best tip. It's the key to all of this. So with that being said, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And actually, I need you guys to be action takers, right? A lot of times people will hear, hit the subscribe button and all that stuff, and they don't do it. But this channel is actually designed to help you as an entrepreneur, help you as a working professional to make the changes in your life that will give you the happiness that you're looking for. So to do that, subscribe to this podcast and be a loyal listener, because these gems aren't free typically. But this is the one place where you can get all those gems for nothing, for zero cost. So why not take advantage of it, right? So go ahead, hit the subscribe button, and let's get into point number 1. So back in 2021, right when I quit my job, I told myself, hey, I need something to do to get me up in the morning so I'm not sleeping until like 10 a.m., if you will, because I was starting my own business. So I had this bright idea, let me go to the gym. And I didn't just go to the gym. I was a part of the 5 a.m. club. So I was part of those people that would be at the gym by 5 a.m. just working out when there's nothing but you, the janitors, and just the darkness outside, if you will, just welcome you into the gym every day, right? It was a grind, but it was a fun grind. And I had a lot of friends tell me, because this was right when COVID was happening, they haven't seen me in a while. They'll say, Coach, or they'll say, Philip, man, dude, you gotten swole, man. You been in the gym? And the answer was, yeah. Like, I was going to the gym 5 times a week for months, guys. And this actually went from 2021 up until 2023, okay? So what happened in 2023, right? Why did I fall off my habits? Well, life for me changed, right? Started a family, and with that family comes responsibilities, and everything started to change. I wasn't able to stay as consistent as I would like, and I started to get a little down on myself because I had made all this progress, and now I was starting to lose it. I had even one goal, and I told a few people, I even told people on this podcast, one of my goals was to be able to bench press 300 pounds, and I fell short of that goal. I fell short of it, guys, and it happens, right? It happens. But here's the thing, and this is why I'm doing this episode. Even though I fell short of that goal, it doesn't mean that I can't get back there, right? It doesn't mean that I can't get back to where I was right before I stopped going to the gym consistently. So now I'm going back to the gym, and I'm consistent. But there was something I had to do to help me to get back into the gym. And this is going to be the first point, the first thing I need you to do to help you to get back into the gym. I need you to be willing to let go of when you do the habit and just focus on doing it. Believe it or not, most habits you have right now, there's not a habit right now you can't name that you can't do within the first 15 minutes of getting up. For me, hey, I was part of the 5 a.m. club. So I was getting up at 4:30, 4:45 a.m., being to the gym by 5 a.m., and I was hitting those weights hard. But I had to let go of that. I had to let go of it because, when you have a newborn, yeah, sometimes, man, you're going to sleep at all different crazy hours of the night. Sometimes you're not getting any sleep, I will say. But going to the gym was still important to me. So I went from the 5 a.m. club to the 7 a.m. club. And some days, some months, I was a part of the 8 a.m. club. And in my mind, I was like, man, like this is so late. Like I've missed most of my day, even though I'm getting up and I'm at the gym by 8 a.m. And that was a big problem that I had because I was so specific in when this habit needed to be done. I told myself if I wasn't at the gym at 5 a.m., I wasn't working hard. I wasn't disciplined. I wasn't this grinder, if you will. But that was the biggest thing that was holding me back because right now, the most important thing for you is not when you do the habit, but it's if you do the habit. I know structure is important. Trust me. I literally have my schedule on the wall right here, right? Like it's important, yes, but what's more important than sticking to the schedule is sticking to the tasks that you have on that schedule. Some days, guys, hey, I go to the gym at 1 p.m., middle of the day. The other days, I am able to get there by 5 a.m. But the question of did I go to the gym is the most important thing. So step number one for you to get back on track is to let go of when you do the habit and just focus on doing it. All right, point number two. I love this one, guys. This was one of my favorite ones. So when I was in the gym and I was bench pressing, at one point in time, I was working out with 255 pounds, right? So that's where I would go in and I would be bench pressing. Then I hit the wall. Then I went a few months where I just went to the gym maybe like once that week, maybe twice, or maybe I didn't go at all. And I literally saw my body shift, right? I saw a shift in my weight, saw a shift in my muscles. But the biggest thing that I noticed is when I got back on the bench. So I went from being able to bench 255 and work out with that to now where I'm benching 185. So that's 70 pounds worth of difference. And that's a lot when it comes to your bench press. And here's the thing, man, I'll be honest. One day I was looking in the mirror and I was just looking at my arms. I was like, man, I'm not where I used to be. I'm not that same person. I'm not as built out as I was one day. And I started to get in my head, started to beat myself up. And believe it or not, one of the biggest things that stops people from getting back on track is that they just beat themselves up for not being on track, for not even doing the habits. So let me clarify this. Let me really say this. So what's stopping a lot of people from being disciplined or getting back on track is them beating themselves up for not being on track in the first place. So what we need to do is practice self-forgiveness in this moment. When you do that, it gives you permission to get back on track and eventually get back to where you were. That is the stance that I'm taking, and that's the stance that I need you guys to take. You know, how well you do the task is not important at this moment. Just like when you do the task is not important. Because here's the thing, the doing will eventually get you back to doing it well. I just need you to do it. So this is where I would say quantity is actually more important than quality. I know sometimes we think quality is the most important thing, but there's a journey, there's a process that you go through. And right now, your process should be all about the quantity. So how many times are you getting into the gym? How many times are you posting social media content? How many times are you reading the book? How many is more important than how well, because the many will lead to the well. Trust that, and you'll be back on track with your habits. All right, point number three, the last and final point, the point that brings everything together. It is the glue, and I'm so glad you made it this far. And just a reminder, if you didn't, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to get more content like this. So point number three, when you're falling off your habits, one of the best ways to get back on track is to let go of how you feel when you're doing the habit. A lot of times people say that to themselves, they have to feel motivated, they have to feel confident, they have to feel ready. But here's the thing, guys. Motivation can either be your friend or it can be your master. And for a lot of people, it's serving them as their master. What do I mean by that? Well, for a lot of people, they don't go and take action unless they feel motivated. Therefore, motivation is kind of like the prison guard or the master that allows you to go out and follow your dreams or not. So if motivation says, yes, I'm here today and you can go, then you'll go. You'll go to the gym, you'll get in front of the camera or behind the mic just like this. But if motivation says, hey, we're not going today, I'm not here with you today, you typically say no, and I'm not going. Therefore, you don't do the habit. That is the biggest mistake that a lot of people make. Again, when I was looking in the mirror, when I was going to the gym, guys, a lot of times I didn't feel like it. A lot of times I actually, just went for 45 minutes versus the hour and a half that I'm supposed to go. And this is me again saying that it's not about, hey, how well did I do it, but did I do it? That's the most important thing. When it comes to your feelings, I always tell people like they come, they go, they come back again, and all this other stuff. But believe me when I say, when you keep doing the action, when you keep doing the habit, eventually that motivation will come. Eventually the confidence that you're looking for, it will come. But if you're not going to start, you're never going to finish. There's a great quote. I've said it before in this podcast, and it's simple. The journey to 1,000 miles begins with one small step. If you believe that on that 1,000th step, on that 1,000th mile, you will feel that sense of accomplishment that you're looking for. It's just that it won't be there at the beginning. And actually, you can trick yourself and actually celebrate that first step and give you that sense of motivation. But if it's not there, I need you to know that you can still keep moving forward. So in this third and final step, what you need to do is let go of how you feel doing the habit, because how you feel is not more important than the actions that you're taking. The actions that you're taking will definitely bring the feelings that you're looking for, but I need you to focus on the actions first before the feelings. All right, so to summarize these 3 main points to help you to get back on track when you're struggling with your habits, the first main point that I made was that you need to let go of when you do the habit and just do it. It doesn't matter if you typically are an early morning riser or a night owl, just do the habit. Let go of all the needing it to look like this or be perfect or at this time. Just let go of it and just do the thing. The second point that I made was that you need to let go of how well you do the habit. Right now, quantity takes precedent over quality. Focus on how many times you're doing it, and the quality of it or how well you do it, it will get better over time. So if this is social media, let's say you're trying to do YouTube content, or let's say you're trying to do Instagram content or TikToks, whatever the case it may be, I want you to ask yourself, can I do 100 of these videos before I reevaluate, right? Can I do 100? Can I commit to doing 100 of these before I reevaluate if this is for me or not for me? Do that before you start asking yourself or before you start to quit. Again, how well you do it is not important at this time. And then point number 3, the last point that I made, is that you need to let go of how you feel while doing it. Motivation can either be your friend or it can be your master. And I should also say it like this, it can also be your servant as well, right? Allow motivation to serve you. Don't let motivation control you. If you let it control you, you'll find yourself moving at a snail's pace because you'll soon find out that motivation is not always going to be there. So this is Coach Wells. Thank you for checking out this podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.